Hi everyone, my name is Trisha Thiagarajan and I'm an incoming junior at Mission San Jose High School in Fremont, California. And welcome back to part 2 of my cybersecurity series. Today we're going to be learning about data breaches, so let's get started. Again, this video is part of a larger cybersecurity series which is meant for middle and high schoolers who want to learn more about cybersecurity and also explore potential careers in this field. This is part 2, which is again about data breaches. And as you can see, the next part is going to be about cryptography. In the last video, we went over an introduction to cybersecurity, so you can go ahead and check that out as well. Now let's get started. Now, what is a data breach? A data breach is an incident where a party with unauthorized access has access to important information. Think about it. When you sign up for all sorts of websites, newsletters, subscriptions, etc., you give all these people your email address, name, age, and possibly even other kinds of information. This information is stored by all kinds of people, ranging from the government to just ordinary people like you. So, how do you know if your information was leaked in a data breach? That's what we're going to learn today. Now, why is this important? The main reason should be mainly obvious: the fact that people are stealing others' information. This can hurt individuals or organizations. For businesses, this can mean financial loss, which could ultimately lead to the closure of a business, and a damage to their reputation, making their customers lose their trust. Individuals can also experience financial loss, legal repercussions, and also emotional distress. This makes data breaches important because raising awareness allows us to further take actions to prevent these attacks. Now let's look at a real-world scenario. You may have recently heard that over 16 billion passwords were just leaked. This is an example of a real-life data breach. Firstly, this is not completely true. However, we saw how quickly the world panicked when people did think it was true, showing the extent to how dangerous data breaches really are, and that they are a real-life scenario, and you shouldn't think that something like that would never happen to you. Now, what did actually happen? The 16 billion password leak didn't just happen at once. It was passwords that were leaked from over 30 different databases over many years, all overlapping with one another. However, the passwords were still leaked, 16 billion of them, which is why it's important to check if one of yours could have been leaked and what to do after. Here are some protective measures. You can actually check if your email address was leaked in a data breach using the website Have I Been Pawned. All you have to do is enter your email address and it will tell you if your email or phone number has been part of a data breach. Take the time to pause this video, either click the link below or go to haveibeenpawned.com and enter your credentials and see what it says. If it does say that your information was used in a data breach, don't worry, because we're going to be going over some steps on what to do. Even if it says that no pawnage was found, there is still a possibility, and it doesn't hurt to take these next actionable steps. Now, what to do after? Make a secure password. Like we went over in the last video, I showed examples of strong and weak passwords and how to make your weak password stronger. You can follow these tips to change some of your passwords. And remember, don't make the goal of the password easy to remember. Make the goal of the password hard to crack. People can easily guess passwords nowadays by just checking words that you commonly repeat, or just trying to use the same password and email with as many applications as possible. That's why it's also important not to reuse passwords. You can also use a password strength checker to see how strong your passwords really are. Additionally, use the Google Password Manager or any other password manager of your choice to help you save and manage your passwords. Next, assess the breach. If a recent breach does occur and you do end up being affected, try and understand what information was exposed. Doing this is important because then you can try and contain that information to the best of your ability. For example, if your credit card information got leaked and you notice money being spent, you can try and disable your credit card to prevent any further expenditures. Another thing you can do is contact the place where the data breach occurred and file the claim to go through the process to try and recover what you lost. Now, this is the weak versus strong password slide. I went over this in the last presentation, but I will quickly go over it again. Some weak passwords include 12345, let me in, password, or just your name in general. However, we can make these much stronger. For example, take a simple phrase such as I love pasta, replace some of the letters, make some uppercase, make some lowercase, add some numbers. And to make it even stronger, you can combine random combinations of letters and numbers and symbols. Remember, don't make the goal of the password easy to remember, make it hard to guess. Dangers. Now, some people might be wondering what it's even possible to do with just an email address. But there's actually a lot. A common one is identity theft. People can claim that they are you and use your identity to do all kinds of stuff, such as steal money, use your personal information on websites, or even worse, such as committing a crime. Now imagine that someone with your information went onto Amazon and just bought $10,000 worth of items. You would then somehow have to convince Amazon that you actually never bought these items and you try and regain your money back. Luckily, nowadays, there is better safety and most credit cards require two-factor authentication when trying to make large purchases. Another danger is legal issues. People may face legal problems due to the actions of identity theft, including being held liable for fraudulent debts or facing criminal charges. Now let's recap about what we learned in this lesson about data breaches. 1. What is a data breach and why is it important? A data breach is when a party with unauthorized access has access to important information. This is important because it can deeply hurt individuals and organizations. Number 2, we went over a real-life scenario about a data breach and protective measures to take if you do experience one. We learned that the 16 billion password leak wasn't completely true, but we also learned that if we are exposed to a data breach like this, protective measures to take are to change our passwords and assess the situation. And lastly, number 3, the dangers about data breaches. Data breaches can lead to all sorts of dangers, but some common ones include identity theft, which can turn into legal ramifications, causing a lot of emotional distress and trouble. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope to see you in the next video, which will be about cryptography. You can take the mini quiz, which is in the description. Thank you so much. Bye.